Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kelly Martin Chu, Amazon best-selling author, speaker, and relationship and dating coach for women. And during this time of the pandemic, there's so much to talk about. You can see my hair is wet. I just got done with a run, and I've been asking the deep question is, what do people need right now more than anything? And these are very uncertain times that we're living in. And I do believe that there's one thing that really can make a huge difference in your life, the life of your family and your loved ones, because many people are losing their jobs. We have sick people. We have people that are, their jobs are getting harder, the healthcare providers, the truck drivers, right? So everyone's lives have been impacted by this little virus. It's amazing. And yet it's a universal thing. And so our lives are changing, and they're changing rapidly, day by day, changes, changes, changes. And so I wanted to share with you today the one thing that I think that really can make a difference, the difference between thriving and really just surviving, and for some even, you know, um, coming along by just a thread. And my heart goes out to all of those people that are really, really suffering. So I wanted to start there. And so the key, one of the keys I really believe here in such uncertain times is to develop the skill set of flexibility and really becoming resourceful, because things aren't as they used to be. The old way of being in the world and striving and going for it and go, 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 do, 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 those times are changed. We are being called to stay at home, stay in shelter. And our kids are now being homeschooled, and we're being stopped. And in the stopping, as a lot of the world is falling apart, and yet people are also coming together in beautiful, beautiful ways. And so being flexible is so important. So I'll give you some examples. Many of you might be trying to decide between two options, right? And you're anxious, you're stressed, and you're trying to figure out the answers to some really challenging problems. How to pay the mortgage, maybe even how to pay um, for food. Maybe the challenge is, how to care from a loved one at a distance. I mean, there's so many challenging things that are coming up for people. And the way many people think is they'll come up with two options. And the two options is kind of like, I could do this or I could do this. And the brain, you'll find the brain will flip-flop back and forth and back and forth. And during that flip-flop, it's highly, highly stressful. So one of the things that I learned from my mentor is that whenever you are that you have a big decision to make, is that you should always have at least three options. And so this three option approach gives you and your brain the opportunity to feel like you are in some way in control, because this or that, it's like a monkey game. And when you can create a third option or more, you will start to feel like you have choice, that you're not a victim to your circumstances. We also know by opening up the creativity of the mind is that even if your third option, that you never end up using that option or acting on that option, just the opening of the brain to force yourself to come up with a third option, it will bring light to what your options are. So if you have a tough decision to make right now, and you're really battling this decision, first thing I want you to do is come up with a third option. This is you exercising flexibility and resourcefulness. And please don't judge the third or fourth option that you come up with. After you have identified at least three options, hello Sheila. After you've identified those three options, the invitation is to begin to, this is old school, write down your pros and cons of acting on that option. Literally write them down. We know and research shows that if you can just slow your brain down enough to use pen and paper to write it out, again, you'll start to access higher brain functioning. Because again, if it's all running around in your mind, hello Sheila, hello, let's see, Kadega, hello, welcome, welcome. So write down the pros and the cons. So let's give an example. Let's say that you've lost your job. Hello, I love the hearts. Let's say that you've lost your job and you're really wondering how you're going to pay your bills. And maybe maybe one option would be, well, maybe you could call your bank and investigate what options you might have with your mortgage and payments and maybe deferment. Another option might be that you dust off that resume and you look for another job with maybe some other skills that you might have. So anyway, come up with your 3 options. Begin to write out the pros and cons of each option. Once you've had those 3 things, there's at least 3 choices lined out, and you've identified pros and cons. When you're looking at the cons, or what's called like the risk or the thing that isn't good about that decision, I want you to really consider, number 1, what is the likelihood of that con happening? And I like to use feminine intuition and gut intuition for you to really sit with it and think, okay, from a 0 to 100% chance of that negative thing happening, what are the chances of it happening? And just give a gut level percentage. Well, say it's 50%, say it's 80%, okay? What that will do is it will bring the high level of stress, begin to bring it down and bring it into a little bit more of reality. We tend to dramatize things. And in today's pandemic, watching the news, there's a lot of real drama happening. And if you are dealing with your own challenges, it is not uncommon to kind of throw the gasoline on our challenges, and they are often much bigger, or we make them bigger than they really need to be. So go ahead. So the second thing you're going to do is to figure out what is the likelihood of the con. Give it a percentage. And then from that percentage, what you're going to do is you're going to do what's called mitigating the risk. And so in mitigating risk, this is where you start to get creative of saying, okay, if I go in this route and this is the negative or the shadow side or the risk or the thing that I don't like about this decision, is there anything in my power that I could do to bring the chances down of that thing happening or making it so that it's not so bad? All right. So you're going to go through this process with each decision. And then once you've done that and you've really analyzed everything, I think what you're going to find is you're going to feel like you're more in your power than you were when you're just spinning around this or that or this or that. And once you have this all written out, it's a really great time to reach out to someone that you really know would have your back and maybe talk it through. A lot of us make these big decisions. It's really helpful to have someone that you can kind of talk through things with. And then at the end of the day, it's a matter of making, some of these decisions need to be made like now. Make the decision, the best decision that you can make based on the information that you have. And what I also find is just making decisions in a timely manner, we can begin to move forward and alter, if you are a sailor and the winds are going to come at you, however the winds come at you, we have no control. We have no control of how the wind hits our sails. What's the one thing that we do have control over is how we trim the sails, and we have control. As a sailor, it's called, the rudder, which is moving the direction of the boat. So while we can't control this pandemic, what we can do is control how we respond to it. And the more flexible you can be and the more creative you can be, you will come out on top, and you'll begin to feel like you are in more control. So give it a go, and be sure to comment in the section. Give us a, you know, thumbs up. Be sure to like the video, and I am here for you during these challenging times. I'm a life coach. Yes, my specialty is in love and finding love, even during the pandemic. And yet there are foundational skill sets that I have that I know that I can help you with during these challenging times. So feel free to book a session with me. I'll put the link below. If you're needing to create a breakthrough in your life right now, and you're needing to change, and you know you need to pivot, and you don't want to just allow all of this outside life or things happening out there, you want to feel like you are more in control, you're more in your power. And ideally, what I so want for you is to come out better than you've ever been, more passionate than you've ever been. And so right now you might be in what we call the dip, but after the dip, getting you up higher. And I would love to partner with you, partner in your passion, partner in leading with love and heart and peace. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. So one of the number one resources that you can cultivate is flexibility. Cultivate flexibility and creativity during these times so that you can feel like you're back in the driver's seat of your life. I'm Dr. Kelly Martin Shue, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, and dating and relationship coach for women. Have a fantastic day.